Black people saved me. And it's not some tagline. I was born on the streets of South Korea. I begged for money every day, door to door. I got taken from my biological family, put in a home, adopted or sold to an American family that had really great intentions. Really great intentions. But they were ill-prepared, and the system was just messed up. And life didn't really become easier, it became tougher. But black people saved me. Their culture, their music, their resilience. And one day, I hope everyone sees the beauty.
The Black community is more loving, more forgiving, more accepting than we have any right to expect them to be. And it's overwhelmed me in a good way.
Now that I have your attention, thank you for clicking this video here today. And if you have, you are in the right place. This episode today will focus on how white Americans, white people, Asian Americans are feeling welcomed in the black community. I keep on telling you, black people in America are not your enemies, regardless of your race or identity. The Latin community always take black people, always take black Americans as part of you. With the first video we have just watched, you can clearly get to see and understand how circumstances come into place. With the first scene, you have seen this Asian American from South Korea clearly showcasing the world that he felt welcome, and he is thanking black people for taking him in as one of their own. This episode today is of much essence to you if you're a person who has wrong perspective on black Americans. Let me tell you this. White supremacists are the ones who are always feeding white Americans, the Latin community, and other races that exist in America. They always teach these communities to hate black Americans. And that's how racism comes into place. For those who are new here and you have clicked this video for the first time, I am Marvin, and please and kindly, if you're not a robot or an alien, feel free to hit the subscribe icon below, and I'll continue showcasing to you how white Americans, how black Americans, how each and every community in America continue to live in their day-to-day basis. I champion for the rights of black Americans in a white supremacist world. The following videos is a reflection of what we're discussing here today. Watch how white Americans are speaking out loud on how black community welcomed them and how black community accepted them as one of their own family. Let this be an example to all white people in America that black Americans are not your enemies. Be an enemy of white supremacists like Donald J. Trump, who continues to undermine black Americans' progress. Stay with me till the end. Watch this short coverage step by step so that we can be on the same page. Share response on the comment section below, and I will humbly respond to you. At the end, I will have more strong commentary on this episode. Kindly, let's watch.
A couple of months ago, I posted a video because I had been thinking about why is it that throughout centuries on continents all over the place that black people have been targeted for such horrific treatment and such oppression. Why this group? And the more I thought about it, I'm like, there's something special. They have to, there's something special. Do you have some magic or some power? And I posted that as a question. In the comments, I learned the answer in the comments, but not in the way you think. Now, there were people who gave me good information about, historical concepts and things like that, and I'm still learning about that. But what I mean is, in the way they responded to my comments, I can see that there is something special, and that is just by genuinely asking a question. Because I want to stop it. I want the world to be different. I don't want this to happen again, and people keep being treated like that. The vast majority of the black people who commented on my video were so like, we love you, sis. Here's what you need to know. Or, just for asking the question, we love you and we accept you. And I'm like, I got mad at somebody at the HEB for cutting in front of the line of me, and you can forgive, a whole race of people when we come to you and say we're sorry and we want to learn. That level of love and acceptance and forgiveness is really jaw-dropping to me, and that shows me a bit of what I was asking. yes, there are other gifts and talents and historically things that set the Black race apart. But I saw in my comments how kind, how loving. I mean, almost to a degree that I can't even fathom. And I go back and read those comments a lot. And I want to just thank everybody who took the time to speak to me. A couple of you were like, why are you so nervous in this video? I was nervous. Because these are conversations that I want to have, but I'm not sure I know how to start them or have them without being offensive, because I know there are all kinds of things. I am just learning the roots of certain words that I say, that I grew up saying, that I had no idea were racist. And so I'm a little bit terrified, because I want to learn. I want you guys to adopt me. It's what I want, but I want to learn, and I'm afraid that I don't even have the right words to start the learning. But and some of that in my video was sadness and shame that I knew racism was real. I mean, I've worked in the criminal justice system and I have seen it firsthand, but I missed so much until I started raising biracial children. And I'm ashamed that it took it being personal to me before I realized how deep the racism ran. So to all of you who took the time to comment, and those of you who have been so kind, and to the few of you that said, we don't trust you and we're not giving you our secrets, I respect you too. I wouldn't trust me if I were you. That's why the majority of people who are so free to say, come on in, sis, we got you. It has meant more to me than I can say. Thank you. Go love your neighbor.
So this is probably going to be very controversial. I feel more safe in a space shared with Black men than I feel very unsafe in a space shared by white men. Now, before y'all get your panties in a wad and get all pissed off about this, when I am surrounded by a bunch of white men, I'm constantly looking around. I have no fear in a room full of Black men. The reason why: when I go to the movies, I don't worry that a Black man's gonna up the movie theater. When I go to my church, I don't worry that a Black man's gonna the church. When I go to the mall, I don't worry that a Black man's gonna the mall. When I go to my children's school, I don't worry that a Black man's gonna the school. Black men will target 1 or 2 or 3 individuals. White men will go schools, movie theaters, churches, your grocery store. So before you say that you're worried about being surrounded by Black men, you better think about that.
And if I'm going to talk about pride, I also feel like I need to talk about why I love people of color so much. So I am obviously a white woman. I have been raised in rural Georgia my whole life. I knew my family was racist by the time that I was in kindergarten, when my friend Thomas called my house and my grandmother came in and said, "Is that a Black boy on the phone?" So that led me to forever be the black sheep. My best friends were always people of color growing up. I was the only white girl on the step team. I was invited to Thanksgivings at their house. Hispanic people, when my mom was in the trailer next door doing God knows what, they would invite me in and feed me, and I would listen to their music and watch their soap operas. And I went into foster care and group homes, and then Black women loved me harder and taught me who I was. So I'm a forever.
As a white woman living in the South, one of my favorite things about living in proximity to Black Americans is how loud they get when they're happy, and their joy just fills the room. Like, it just energetically, cosmically, emotionally just fills the space. And I love it so much, because it's like, yes, like, please take up space. Please own the room. And it just, for so long, you were deprived your humanity and your ability to just like exist. So when I get to witness Black Americans happy and just enjoying something together, it brings me so much joy. I love it. I love it so much.
Every other day, it's another story about a white person being uncomfortable with a black person in a space they consider a white space, whether it be a damn gym in a private office building or jogging in a predominantly white neighborhood. What do y'all not understand that segregation ended in 1964? Where the hell have you been, baby? Where have you been? Okay? And I have to ask you, what is it about black people that makes you so damn uncomfortable? Do y'all ever ask yourself that? Because realistically, according to statistics, they have a hell of a lot more to fear from us than we do from them. So why don't you marinate on that for a second?
So most white people in America think that we are generally cool with the black community. We know there is some tension, but we work alongside black people, we live alongside black people, and in general, those people seem to be going along with the program for the most part. And I think most of us in the white community have no idea how deep the rift is and how completely done the black community is right now. And as a white ally who is 100% committed to reparations, 100% committed to police and criminal justice reform, there's a chicken and egg problem. Being white, I am not trusted, and my commitment to justice is constantly being questioned, no matter how sincere I am. So there really is no way to build true unity, but we can't advocate for justice without the critical mass of being united together. Because there are those of us out here who are committed, but we need the right hand of fellowship if we're ever going to get this ball of long-awaited justice for the black community across the finish line.
If you're still here with me, what do you have to say about this episode? Has it brought enlightenment unto you? Do you find it of value? Do you find it of educational purposes? If it does, kindly hit the subscribe icon below and I'll continue championing for the rights of black Americans in a white supremacist world. This page always deals with white Americans, hot gossips and trends, minority groups in America including the black and brown communities. Kindly follow for more facts and I'll keep you more posted and updated because I post on regular basis. Now back to our original discussion. Do you find out why they, the Asian Americans, the white Americans, other communities, the Latin communities, feel welcome in black community and black families? Black Americans for the longest time possible have been taught to love their neighbors. And once you live in a black neighborhood, love will truly prevail, love will find your way, and love will showcase the world how black Americans are a diamond to be living close to you. It was a nice session engaging with you, and please and kindly, let me tell you this. White Americans are not black people enemies. White supremacists, we all know, are the ones who are spearheading white people, white Americans, to hate black Americans. They feed insults into white people so that they can continue calling black Americans the N-word, the racial slurs you keep on hearing from them in the shopping malls, at your workplaces. It is because they have been taught to hate black people, they have been taught to hate black immigrants. But here today, it is such an honor when we have white Americans applauding and giving thanks to black people for welcoming them to their own community. On the next episode, I'll continue showcasing to you how black Americans continue to live their day-to-day lives and how they continue to cope in a white supremacist world. The midterm elections are around the corner. Kindly choosing for the right leader regardless of their race or identity. Follow what black Americans tell you. And this is exactly how these white Americans in this video are showcasing the world. They are living in the right path because they know how influential black Americans are. Their power, their unity is stronger, and when you hear minor communities getting deported in America, they always run to black Americans because they know how black Americans' unity is stronger. But when black people in America, black immigrants, tell you about something, follow their advice. They have been there for such a long time. They know America inside and out. They were there since the slavery era. They warned the Latin community, they warned the Hispanic community against voting in for Donald J. Trump, but they didn't listen. Instead of these two communities coming and embracing black Americans, they chose not to be part of black community. Now that things are out of hand, they are busy running back to black Americans for their support. Always remember this. Black Americans are not your enemies. These people have been in America. They know what is best for immigrants, regardless if you are a black immigrant, Hispanic immigrant, or other races. Thank you for watching and thank you for staying with me till here right now. See you on the next episode and goodbye.